We are back today looking at Football Manager 26 Wonderkids, but on FM24 because I am on an updated database which has updated all the current ability and potential ability of every single player in the game. And we're going to be trying to find the next best Wonderkids for FM26 on FM24. That's the likes of Rio Ngoma, Kai, Rooney and many more, as we look to try and take Middlesbrough, one of the best teams in the Championship, to Premier League glory only using these new Wonderkids. And I've got a short list of over 230 of these brand new Wonderkids that I think are going to be some of the best players on FM26, like Jerry Munger, for example, at Leicester. Or we take a random click onto another player, we could go to Giovanni Leone at Liverpool. Sadly, has done his ACL in real life, but his potential is going to be off the charts on the next game. Or if we scroll down to Gil Fernandez in the Barcelona B team. I have set myself a rule that I can only sign players out of these 230 players. These are the highest potential ability players in every single position. So we're always going to have a new Wonderkid to go after. And we're going to be doing it with the mighty Middlesbrough. We're going to be using a bit of a random formation today. We're going to change through different formations throughout the video. And eventually, I'm going to be showcasing the best tactic I've ever seen on Football Manager, and it came from a viewer. And Rowan, if you're watching this, we're going to use your 4-4-2. It is absolutely incredible. Now, lucky enough, Middlesbrough also have some fantastic Wonderkids themselves, like central midfielder Hayden Hackney, who genuinely could stay with us until we're Premier League winners. They've got two very decent strikers in David Strecklack and Delano Bursborg. Of course, Championship and League One dominator Morgan Whittaker on the right-hand side as well. Dale Fry at centre-back, also top quality for this team. And in terms of the actual club itself, there is incredible facilities here. 5-star training facilities, 4.5-star youth facilities, but very bad youth recruitment. So once we get players in, which of course we're going to go and buy the very best, they'll be able to progress at a ridiculous rate, which makes Middlesbrough the perfect club. And they're also second in real life, which is absolutely insane. Now, my goal is to go out there and get promoted this season very, very quickly. We are predicted as the 6th best side, and using a 4-2-2 or a 4-4-2 formation, I predict will be pretty good. But I do also want to see if I can bring in one Wonderkid for this first season. And every single season, I want to bring in at least one. So before we get any further, let me know in the comments down below what Wonderkid you are most excited for FM26. Me, I don't think he's going to win the game. It would be JJ Gabriel. Because he's not going to be on the game, I cannot wait to see Jim Thwaite in the Manchester United Academy. He looks like an incredible talent in real life. Let me know who you're most excited about down below. And if the man you're most excited about is Christos Mouzakis, well, you're going to see him for a whole rebuild here because he is our one and only signing for this summer. He is a Greek midfielder who is 18 years of age, can play DM, centre mid or central attack midfielder. He's not the quickest of lads in this updated database, but my God, is his technical ability outstanding for an 18-year-old. And there's a lot of incredible Wonderkids coming through the Greek academies, and I'm sure we're going to see some more of them in today's video. The team now looks a little bit like so, and I will be looking to lock in Mouzakis into this team. Apologies, pronunciation-wise, it's not going to be great. I'm not great at Greek. I'll be completely real. But this is the team going into next season. And I think now having Aiden Hackney and Mouzakis is going to be incredible in the midfield. So without further ado, let's get into this first season and see if we can just fast forward things a bit and get us straight into the Premier League. And if I can just ask a massive favour, we have literally got, I reckon, 10 days left until FM26 comes out. If you guys can make sure you're subscribing to the channel, that will help us out massively. I'm not sure we're going to get to 20k subs now before the new game, but 19k is on the cards. So make sure you're smashing that subscribe button, liking the video, and like I said, get your most hotly tipped Wonderkid in the comments down below. Oh, and there's a new thing. If you could hype the video, that would be amazing. Now, Mouzakis was absolutely fantastic this season. 3 goals, including that screamer, 11 assists and a 6.92 average rating, which pushed us all the way to the playoffs in the Championship. As did having this guy, Severe House of Naipan, the FM24 Wonderkid that everyone signed, was also with us last season, and he was pretty damn good. 33 games overall, 6 goals, 8 assists, coming in on loan from Manchester City. Maybe we'll try and get him back at some point, but that's also an amazing season from him. But as I said, we were in the playoffs this season and we were facing up against Norwich. In the first leg, we managed to win 1-0 and the second leg was the exact same score. So that sent us off into the final where we faced up against Leicester City. A game that was never going to be easy. They were always going to be hotly tipped to be one of the best teams this season and we devastated they didn't get automatic promotion. But McGree got us off to a great start just 5 minutes in, giving us the 1-goal lead. But Leicester, well, they showed their quality. And this man in particular, Abdul Fatawu, was insane. Scored an incredible goal into the top corner, making it 1-1. For the second goal, though, it came to us. It was McGree down the left-hand side, beats his man, a backstick cross, and Berzong was there to head home, and we grabbed a third and sent us in to the Premier League as Berzong hits it out to the left wing back Bangura, who gets on the ball, sets it back to Hayden Hackney with a pretty lucky goal, let's be honest, of the deflection, sending it in to the back of the net. But a 3-1 victory at Middlesbrough. We were going to the Premier League, which I am absolutely buzzing about. I didn't want to stay in the Championship for too long, and we've absolutely smashed it. I mean, Bristol City smashed it even more on on 98 points, same as Ipswich. Southampton on 96. Leicester actually really didn't deserve it. They came down in 6th place on 76 and beat Southampton over 2 legs, who were just 2 points away from automatic promotion, which is crazy. Norwich were, really good as well, 8 points ahead of us, but we managed to get promoted. Now, the tactic we created, we did manage to end up tweaking midway through the season as it wasn't going very well. We'd managed to tweak it more into traditional 4-2-2, a Volante and deep line playmaker without the inverted wing back, and it worked much better. But this tactic, I'm not sure how good it is. Now, there will be a link to a tactic at the end of this video in the Patreon for the last week for completely free, as well as the rebuild file as well, as a thank you to anyone that is watching a rebuild with hopefully about a week left of FM24, well, there's an absolutely insane tactic linked in the Patreon and this rebuild file as well. So head down there, sign up for completely free, and you can get yourself your hands on that. Now, there was some other star performers this season. It wasn't just Mouzakis who was great. Our highest average rating went to Tommy Conway, 21 goals in 29 starts. Berzog also scored 18 and 10 assists for Hayden Hackney as well. Top goal scorer, Conway, Streklek and Berzog, and top assist man, well, of course, it was Christos Mouzakis, our new Greek midfielder, with 11 assists, with Hayden Hackney with 10 leading the way. Now, financially, it's not great. We've got negative £24 million in the bank, and we haven't got a lot in terms of transfer budget. They've given us 40 million, which is decent, and 200k in wage budget, which again is fairly decent, but we're not exactly stupidly rich. I mean, player value wise, there's some decent value here, and we might cash in on a couple of the older players, but overall, we haven't got a lot of money to spend. So it's lucky we're only signing, literally 16, 17 and 18-year-olds to come into this team. So first up, welcome in Manchester United's young centre-back, Aidan Heaven, coming in for £20 million, which is a lot, but my God, does he look fantastic updated here. He can play centre-back or play central defensive midfield, and in this version, he's had a massive boost, and it really wouldn't surprise me if he gets this sort of boost ahead of FM26 as well. I think Heaven is going to be a really good sort of championship pickup in that first season on loan on FM26, and I can't wait to use him next year for sure. Even in a United rebuild, you never know, he could progress into being a United standard player. But for us now, he comes in as one of our best centre-backs at 19 years of age. I would love to see if he gets an English cap throughout this video. Next up was the young French signing of Case Courtel, coming in to the under-19 squad as a rotation option, before then spending just £7.5 million on what could be the best young centre-back on FM26. It's Tobias Palacio coming in from Argentinos Juniors, and he looks absolutely outrageous. Mentally, to have 17 decisions and 17 positioning at 19 years of age seems a bit crazy, as does 16 pace and acceleration. Defensively, he's not that good, and that's fine, because we can train him, because we have ridiculous facilities, remember. He has got the foundations to go on to be one of the best centre-backs in the world, though, with elite consistency, and at just £7.5 million, it's a bargain. And then we signed who I think could be our striker for the whole of this rebuild. It's Sami Bouhadane, a Dutch striker with good speed, 6'1", great finishing and composure split. 8 determination isn't fantastic, but all of his other stats kind of make up for it. And at just 18 years of age, Sami is going to be locked in to be one of our strikers this year. There was then also the £3.7 million signing of Noah Mikic coming in to be a starting right back. A new young goalkeeper comes in Alessandro Nunziante from Udinese. And Tyler Tingey joins us to go into the development system from Spurs for $700k. And in terms of outgoings, there was only one real major sale, and it was the $19.25 million of Aidan Morris going to Atlanta United. So that means the team has changed a hell of a lot this season. And it looks a little bit like so, with Conway and McGree on the wing position, Striklak and Budahane up front, Muzakatis and Hackney in midfield, with Bangura, Heaven, Palacio, Mikic and Nunziante in goal. That is an incredibly young team already. If we are to set this via the general info, you can see our first team is 19, 19, 19, 19, 27, 24, 19, 23, 27, 25 and 18. Well, that is a young old squad. And it was once famously said, you can't ever win anything with youngsters. Well, hopefully in today's rebuild, we can prove that wrong. In the Premier League, I won't be surprised to see us 20th. 19th actually. Title winners Bristol City in 20th place, us in 19th with only youngsters. It'll be interesting to see how we get on. Can we survive and can we potentially do even better? Well, I tell you what, it was a rough season and we struggled from day one this year, which I'm not surprised about. Bringing in only Wonderkids makes things quite difficult when it comes to team morale. And if you haven't learned by now, FM24 is basically a morale game. We managed to win 4 games in the first half of the season. It wasn't looking good for safety this year. And if we skip on into the second half of the season, it wasn't like things quickly turned around. We only managed to get another 3 victories. Now 4 plus 3 is 7, times by 3 is 21. 21 points is not a lot of wins. But lucky enough for us, Bristol City were even worse, as were Burnley and Ipswich, as we managed to stay safe on 30 points. And in fact, even Wolves were worse than us, and we came down in 16th. That is a god-awful Premier League campaign for Brighton, us, Wolves, Ipswich, Burnley and Bristol City, all 32 points and left. But I don't care. We're safe. And that sort of season gives us so much progression with our youngsters. The point where Palacio and Aiden Heaven are now 2 incredible young centre-backs. Muzakis and Hayden Hackney are both incredible. We've got David Stralick up front who looks great as well. And in terms of like best performers and goal scorers last season, goal scorers wise, it was actually Sami Budahane. 40 games, 8 goals, 2 assists. A 6.55 is shocking. But he scored goals, and we really don't mind that. And now at 19 years of age, he's got a crazy value. He just needs to learn to sit the ball in the back of the net a little bit more, and I'll be even happier. In terms of assists, it was Noah Mikic, our new right back, Aidan Heaven grabbing 4, and Rylan McGree with 4 assists and 2 goals. We also managed to sign 1 more player, and that was Saba Karabashvili, an attacking young left wing back who we brought in from Dynamo Tbilisi for £975,000. This guy's a joke. He is absolutely insane. A value already of 51 to 82 million. He will be one of the best young players to buy on FM26. And we know about him already because of this rebuild. Now, if you guys like that, smash the like button straight away. He is the perfect attacking wingback. No longer are we doing inverted or anything in this save in particular. This guy is your bog standard, run down the line with his ridiculous pace and whip it in. And I tell you what, he's got a mental stats as well, where he's actually really good at deciding whether to whip it in, lay it off, cross high, cross low. He's got all of them stats, which is fantastic. And he cost me just under £1 million. So Dynamo Tbilisi, Georgian left back, Saba Karabashvili. Look out for him next year. That is the go-to signing you guys need to be looking into. But probably the biggest winner of the whole entire season was the fact that financially, well, being in the Premier League has its perks. We were up to £55 million in the bank, and our transfer budget was repleted. Is that a word? I've got no idea. So £46.5 million and over 150k in wage budget as well. So let's see who we can bring in for season 3. Well, to be honest, it wasn't a lot. We'd already brought in a lot of new Wonderkids, but Lennon Miller coming in from Udinese is an absolute no-brainer. A Scotsman in the Serie A seems to work quite well, while Scott McTominay. Well, Lennon Miller is coming back to England after playing 37 games, including 28 in the top flight last season. 14.5 million, just 20 years of age, 6 foot, good profile, great work rate, and I really like this addition into the team. Our penultimate signing was a young English centre-back in Joshua Stevenson. And then we had to do it, didn't we? Max Dowman had to join the club at some point in this rebuild. But it's not on a permanent, and I don't think it will ever be on a permanent. We've managed to get him in on a loan deal, which has cost £9.5 million. But I just had to do it. At some point in today's video, Max Dowman had to be here. Because if he manages to get, I think Football Manager have to get permission from Dowman's parents. If they do that, which by the way is crazy for a Premier League football player to actually have to have permission, that's how young he is. If they do that, he will probably be one of the highest potential players, like a Yamal was on FM24. He is going to be incredibly exciting. I mean, look at these technical stats. They're brilliant. Physical stats, brilliant. And you know what? There was times with like Ethan Nwaneri when he was brought up into the Arsenal teams. It was like, it's clearly a thing to get him to sign a brand new deal. For Max Dowman, he actually just looks ready, which is utterly ridiculous. The guy's literally 15. What on earth are we doing here? I mean, insane. For this season, we're going to move him into the cam role, and I do want to play him. I know I've only got him on loan. I know I should probably be playing Muzakis here and Lennon Miller and DM, but I want to see how good Max Dowman is on this updated database, just to get me a bit excited for FM26, because if he's on the game, he's going to be really hard to get, but if you manage to get him, you'll have a superstar on your hands. I mean, in terms of the Premier League this year, once again, we are now predicted last. It is going to be a tough year for us, but I'm very excited to see how this team can do. And I genuinely think with Max Dowman in that central attack midfield position, we could score some insane goals. And now moving into a 4-2-3-1 as well, a bit more meta. We'll see what we can do. And I am even more confident that it is just one season we will have Max Dowman for, because he was simply outrageous this year in the cam role. As just the 17-year-old, he was one of our best players this season and managed to get 13 goal contributions, including this goal against Manchester United. Now, he finished up on a 6.97 average rating, and his value is now up at 72 million. And I think it's safe to say we've progressed him at a decent level. I mean, nothing absolutely crazy. He's not jumped up loads in terms of stats, but there's a few plus ones in there, and there's a lot of overall progression. And I do think he will go on to be a superstar at Arsenal in this rebuild. So sadly, that's probably the end of Max Dowman, but at least he got us safe in the Premier League this season. Because thanks to his goals, we nearly reached the magic 40 points total. But if we got last season's points tally, we would have been relegated. So he certainly helped out. 39 points this year was what we needed, and we just about got, including a win on the final day of the season. So we would have been on 36 and come 17th, but still safe. Brighton, back-to-back awful seasons, now relegated, and Arsenal winning the Premier League, and they're about to get Max Dowman back, which, I mean, is not helpful at all, is it? I mean, in terms of goals this season, Sami Budahane, 10 goals and 1 assist. Max Dowman then, and then Aidan Heaven with 6 goals and 1 assist this season. I mean, what a player he looks like already. Now at 21 years of age, 25 U21 caps. Could he get an English cap? I really do hope so. Average rating-wise, Tommy Conway, of all players, is number 1. And then it's Max Dowman. So I'm slightly worried at the fact that we've relied on a 17-year-old to carry us this year. And I'm even more worried because financially we definitely can't afford to bring him in. We have got £52 million to spend, but that does not get you a Max Dowman, that's for sure. But it does get you a Rio Ngoma, whose career has not panned out as we might have expected. In fact, I so nearly got him on a free agent contract before he moved to Leicester in season number 1. Sadly, I didn't quite do it, but he wasn't actually great at Leicester, and he's cost me just 6.5 million. I don't mind that he's not progressed yet, because we know he's going to have like 200 potential ability. He's a Liverpool youngster on an updated database. I mean, ridiculous speed, ridiculous dribbling, great mental stats, great consistency, and he's 19. Now, if I lock him in for one season, which I'm going to do, he's going to turn absolutely outrageous. As will this guy, Kai Rooney. Now, again, I don't know if he's going to be on FM26 because he is just 15 years of age, but if Wazza signs the old contract, Kai Rooney will be on FM26, which will be insane if he is. I mean, Kai Rooney's actually a good youngster. How mental is that, by the way? Like, his dad, one of the best players to ever play in the Premier League. Kai Rooney is actually turning out to be a prolific goal scorer at under 18s level, which is crazy to being 15 years of age. And it's just been overshadowed by JJ Gabriel, which is fair enough. I think everyone would be. It's just mental that his dad is who he is, and he's actually managed to stay motivated to be an absolute star, hopefully anyway, which is incredible. We then went back to Greece and signed another exciting young cam, also from Olympiakos. This time it's Petros Kolokotronis, potentially a better one. 16 flair, great consistency, good technical stats, quite slow once again, but a methodical Greek player. Going to have that sort of Greek mind, which we love to see in our cam position, who looks absolutely brilliant. And then finally, this guy was an FM24 Wonderkid, but we really needed just a superstar goalkeeper to help us. So I've gone all out, and I've spent most of our money this season on bringing in Rome Jaden Owusu-Adoro from AZ Alkmaar. And once again, he looks like he's going to be the go-to goalkeeper. Already capped 5 times for the Dutch national team. Clearly, this database thinks he's going to be a bit of a star. So to get all of them brand new players in, we are moving into a 4-2-2 formation. And there is also a star striker that has come up through the academy, which I did not expect to happen in this video. But Kedwin Weldon is someone I simply cannot ignore. An 18 determination, great speed, great finishing, good composure striker who is just 18 years of age. Yeah, he has to come up into the first team, doesn't he? And he's going to have to play Budahane next to him, Ngoma, Kolokotronis, Leon Miller, Aidan Hackney, Kabarashvili, Aidan Heaven, Tobias Palacio, Noah Mikic, and Owusu-Adoro makes up the defence. And backups-wise, Nunziante, Callum Britton, Dale Fry, Tyler Tingy, Jaden Stevenson, Case Cortell, Lee Adams, Kai Rooney, Law McCabe, Tommy Conway, and Paul Smith. We've also got Abdullah Razin Kante here, who looks like a really good youngster who's at Middlesbrough in real life and has been on a couple of loan spells and done really well. Didn't play too much for us last season. I tried to integrate him into the first team. Now going on loan to Plymouth. But this guy could be a pretty good little youngster as well. Now let's get into it for season 3 in the Premier League, where we need to try and get out of this relegation fodder. Or just go ahead and do the exact same again on 39 points. Get absolutely battered defensively and just about struggle to stay alive. Progression-wise, we have now got Sammy to score 21 goals, which is brilliant, and Rio Ngoma had 18 goal contributions and looked absolutely fantastic, but really not a very good season. In terms of where we're looking to be, I expect to have maybe won a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup, which, to be fair, this season we came close. FA Cup quarter-final by Spurs would always be difficult, and a Carabao Cup semi-final by Liverpool, which again would always be difficult to get past them. But disappointing. We're still just relegation surviving fodder. Financially as well, we are very rich, which is good, but taking that next level is difficult because I'm only allowed to sign players from this shortlist, which makes things very, 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 very hard. I mean, especially at the start, it was getting players interested. Now most players are interested, but it's picking out the ones which are actually going to be good enough to come in and make a difference, because they're all youngsters. None of them are experienced players. None of them are playing loads of games. I mean, sorting this by highest apps, it's not that many players which are getting more than sort of 30 games, which we need them to be doing. I mean, Chris Rigg looks absolutely brilliant. What a player he looks out to be, but midfield is where we are certainly most stacked. And in terms of our data hub, it really is defensively, which is surprising me. I think it's something definitely tactically, because that defense is crazy good of a good goalkeeper. We haven't exactly got the most defensive DMs, so potentially something to look into as well. But overall, it's a very young side, which is going to get better. Kedwin Weldon scored 11 goals and got 4 assists, so awesome to see an actual Middlesbrough youngster come up and do bits. But other than that, a really poor season this year. So I think it's time we deploy our secret weapon. The 4-2-2 formation that Rowan created, and is just an absolutely joke formation. I have heard rumours of this striker this formation getting Benjamin Sesko to score 123 goals in one season. Someone in the comments has actually tested it, and that's how well it done. So, as we're in the last week, and this is probably my final rebuild of FM24, I thought I'd finally use a ridiculously meta tactic. And if anyone wants to copy it, I will click through each individual position. As I said, it will be available on the Patreon for completely free down below if you want to go ahead and use it. But that is the tactic. It is on attacking. This is it in possession. This is it in transition. This is it out of possession. and is absolutely ridiculous. Transfers-wise, there was a few deals this year. Brad Mangoulet came in from KRC Genk for 24 million as another brand new centre-back. Guerin Van Loon comes in as a right-back from Ajax, another Ajax wonderkid coming up, no shock there. Justin Lerma from VfB Stuttgart looks like a great attacking midfielder, and Christian Kafane is a striker which I've brought in from Bayer Leverkusen for £27.5 million. I don't know what to expect. If Benjamin Sesko score 123 goals, Lord knows what these two are going to put together. This could actually get us relegated. It could be a complete fluke that two people have tested this and it's been stupidly good. But I've got a feeling this tactic might be a little bit broken. I just want to pause at some point in this video and just say a massive thank you for the support on FM24. I mean, as I sort of said, this is my last rebuild of FM24, I think. Going into the next week, I'm pretty much going to be looking back on the week and having a look into what we can do for FM26. But this year has been quite life-changing for me. I've realised that this is the career I want to try and go down and take Football Manager YouTube full-time, which is an absolutely insane sentence to say, but it's your guys' incredible support, the likes, the comments, the subscriptions, the Patreon sign-ups that help that actually become a reality. And it doesn't really compute in my brain that I've managed to do that on Football Manager, and it's all because of you guys. I know these things can come across really cringy sometimes, and people sometimes don't think people deserve to be there, but YouTube is something that I've wanted to do since I was 12 years of age. I've literally got YouTube channels which no, you're never finding out, where I was 12 years of age and trying to make videos, and to even like when I was 18, 19, making Football Manager videos with my friends and trying to make something of it, and them being absolutely awful, which maybe one day they'll come out. But in terms of this channel in particular, it's always been a dream of mine. And if you're 20 minutes into this rebuild, which you are if you're hearing this, you're some of the people that make them dreams come true. And I genuinely am just so thankful. And I love every single one of you. So if you're not subscribed yet, do me a massive favour and subscribe. FM26 genuinely could be the most ridiculous year for me. And I'm so excited to bring you guys some of the best content on the platform. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Let's get ready for FM26 and let's see how ridiculous this tactic is, shall we? Yeah, I mean, they weren't wrong. It's absolutely ridiculous. Rowan, I don't know if you created this, if you found this on forums somewhere, or whatever this absolute beast of a tactic is. It should be banned and should never be allowed. And hopefully it doesn't work on FM26 as well, because if it does, well, first of all, I'll be quite disappointed. Second of all, we should probably just write the game off here, because this, for example, was a game against Nottingham Forest. This was our biggest win of the season. We are in the 53rd minute, and this is our fourth goal. There were 7 overall, a 7-0 victory as well. Not even like we conceded a goal. We were just genuinely stupidly good. And you can see we're playing some beautiful football, but it's the sheer amount of players in the box which makes it impossible for teams to defend. And yeah, it's a simply stunning formation, which absolutely breaks the game. And just looking at some of the bigger results this season, there was quite a lot. 4-0 against Burnley. There was some 3-4s, some 3-2s, some 3-0s. Also, it has the chance to lose 6-2 or 5-2, so it's not the perfect tactic, but my God, is it fun and ridiculous. We came 8th in the Premier League, which is a stupid improvement on last season, considering there wasn't that many crazy signings. 58 points, 5 goal difference. Data hub-wise, actually defensively, it was a little bit better. But of course, it was goal scoring where this thing was broken. No 123 goals. Maybe that comes when you're a big side, which hopefully we'll see in today's video. But Sammy and Kedwin both grabbed double-figure goals. And in terms of assists, there was 11 for Lennon Miller in DM as well. Didn't get quite as much out of the cams or wingers as I was expecting. It really was these pressing forwards, which I didn't think were that good on this year's game. I really never used them, to be honest, which were incredible. So fair enough, because this tactic is simply and utterly stupid. And we can now really just concentrate on signing some insane Wonderkids. So I suppose for season number 5 or 6, whatever we're into now, let's see who we can bring in and see if we can finally break into Europe. Because actually this season not being in Europe, we could actually win the league next year, which would be absolutely insane. Because if we bring in some stars, we haven't got European football to contend with. We're now used to the tactic, and I imagine we're going to jump up probably another 20 to 25 points. My first signing was once again another midfielder, and it's a midfielder which has impressed really a lot in real life this season so far in the Premier League. It's Josh King from Fulham. This guy looks brilliant on the ball, and you can see that here on this database as well. 17 first touch, 16 passing, 16 technique, 15 determination, good physical stats. Plays a bit more in the cam position in real life, but on the databases, this is a centre mid or DM, and I think he could be an outrageous rotation in a defensive midfield option. To back up front, we bring in Igor Oyono. This guy is at Athletic Bilbao in real life. On this save, ended up going to Rennes for 120k. Last season scored 7 and 30, nothing outrageous, but for 16 million ends up joining us, which I'm very, very excited about. And he looked absolutely brilliant. So a very consistent player, which I'm excited to see what he can do. And then another young right back coming in. It's Aidan Roca. He is an Austrian right back who starts at SK Rapid. Cost me £7.5 million. Very good speed on him, which I really like. He's already got 7 caps for Austria as well. So another one which is a certain wonder kid to look out for. And someone from SK Rapid as well would always be a really good wonder kid, as they are one of the best academies in the game. I mean, as I said, the tactic isn't going to change, is it? We've been playing this the rest of time. One thing I have noticed is these two centre-backs just don't get on. Aidan Heaven, has he got an England cap yet? Sadly not, and at 23 he might not go on to get one. Palacio has got 9 caps for Argentina, which is fantastic. Lennon Miller, 6 caps now for Scotland. Rio, none for England as of yet. That should be exciting when he gets that. And of course Sammy, 4 caps now for the Dutch national team and looks absolutely insane. 4.5-star player. Yeah, we could be looking at like another Shaquille Van Persie kind of vibe with Sami Buhadane. So make sure we're looking out for him next year. Again, season preview, now 14th, which is a massive, massive change to being 20th. But most importantly is, can we get this tactic to get us potentially a league title at minimum into Europe? Well, there was some major improvements this season, including an unbeaten start, which is what we absolutely love to see. The first 6 games unbeaten before losing 2-1 against Liverpool. Then get 2 past Norwich, 2 past Wolves, and then 5 put past us from Arsenal, which is always going to be hard to overcome. But then 4-1 against Aston Villa and another 5-game unbeaten spell takes us on to an 8-2 BU against Chelsea. And like I said, sometimes this tactic can just make you concede a stupid amount of goals. The second half of the season was also just brilliant, and we were by far the best we had been throughout the entire rebuild. Now, it wasn't a league title, but was an extra 18 points and gets us 5th place, ready for Champions League for season number 7. In terms of goals, again, no 123, but a very good season for Colontris, for Oyono and Sami Buhadane, and assist-wise 11 for Hayden Hackney. But what I didn't realise in this season was that we got torn apart. £179 million of release clauses got torn apart. Saba Karabashvili, 70 million to City. Brad Mangule, 54 to Chelsea. Kenwyn Weldon went to Wolves in the January transfer window, and Rio Ngoma left for only 11.5 to El Ettifaq. So a bit of an oversight on my behalf. Again, with it being one of the final rebuilds, I've made a mistake, so apologies for that one. And we've lost a bunch of youngsters, which I guess just means you guys get to see some more come in to look out for FM26. So welcome in a superstar centre-back in Marley Salmon. This guy has got 11 caps for England, and by the looks of it, is the better Aidan Heaven. He is in the Arsenal Academy in real life, and looks like an absolute joke. He's been playing games on loan at Southampton, at Norwich. Then has been a backup at Arsenal with a 7.04 average rating. So for 75 million, which is outrageous, comes in to be our absolute star. We then bring in Cal Prates for £7.5 million from Cruzeiro in Brazil. Ian Subiare comes in from River Plate after joining, in from Manchester United after joining from River Plate earlier on in his career. It's not quite panned out for him, but for 7 million, this is a bargain. And finally, it's Saeed El Mala coming in from Cologne. It looks like a really good creative midfielder and then striker as well, which is where I'm going to use him purely because we need a number there. And this guy was the best option available in the shortlist we have and looks brilliant. That shortlist, by the way, will be available for you guys also on the Patreon for completely free, as well as the tactic reward file, etc. So if you guys want to have some fun on the last was it, a couple of days left now of FM24, that shortlist. Get researched on there because there's some top tier Wonder Kids that you probably never even heard of before. This is the tactic and team for season 7. Is a pretty insane one, I'll be real. There's no way Marley Salmon doesn't play. Probably with Aiden Heaven, hopefully. It's a nice English partnership. Calparates looks great. Mikic, fantastic. Always good on FM. Has been really good for us, and especially last season was insane. Just £3.7 million. And hopefully he's also really good next year as well, because I know exactly where to look for my good attacking young right backs. Now, next season, it is Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and Premier League. And just to remind everyone, we've not won a single trophy yet in this rebuild. So, I'd like to start winning some today, as in now if possible. And well, this season was a title battle. We had managed to build a team which was ready for that, and it was up against Arsenal. And about 5 games left of the season, we faced up against Arsenal, and it was a simply ridiculous game with a bunch of goals, hence the super mega speed. And we actually went 2-0 up in this game thanks to a goal from Miller there before Arsenal pegged us back, with Dennis on the ball finding Jurian Timber into Chouameni with an outrageous effort to make it 2-1. We stretched our lead thanks to Ayono finding Mikic back through to Ayono. That roam from position, I think, is what is so deadly. And another rainbow, well, not rainbow flick, another, what's it called? I can't remember what that's called. Rabana there to get another assist. And then Arsenal come back and make it 3-2 as Dennis heads home. But we can go ahead and make it 4-2. 89th minute, Kanate on the ball. Yeah, he's rubbish, isn't he? Budahade finds Nathan Trout, another Wonder Kid, through the Middlesbrough Academy, which is fantastic. Make it 4-2. But it's our turn to make a mistake. And Arsenal make it 4-3 as Says gets it drilled in low for Dennis to poke home. But that was it. A 4-3 victory. And at this point, we went 3 points clear at the top. But sadly, it was Arsenal we also faced in the Champions League semi-final. We beat them 2-0 in the first leg, and then we lost 3-0 in the second and got a red card. So sadly, there's no Champions League in today's video. But there is a Premier League, and it is Middlesbrough winning the title in season number 7, using only insane brand new Wonder Kids. But we're not done. I need to show you some of these stats. This season, like I said, when you become a big team, this tactic turns ridiculous. Sammy with 39, Igor Ayono with 23 and 14, Paul Smith 13 and 20. Through the academy. I mean, he's not even that good. His stats are okay, just ridiculously well. Kronis done really well with 21 goal contributions. Noah Mikic, 26 assists. What is that about? That's absolutely insane. And then to also finish up, I want to just see if we got any world, like, young golden balls, etc. I mean, no golden balls in there, but what's it called? Next gen? Did we get anyone on this list? Max Dowman when he was on loan, and Saba came in second. Paul Smith actually was second there as well, which is interesting. No one else for us, though, in the rest of this list anywhere. In terms of like under 21 footballer, again, yeah, sadly nothing for us, which is a real shame. Goalkeeper of the year? No, not even. So we really just finished up the Premier League title and signing a bunch of insane Wonder Kids. If you guys enjoyed probably what is the final rebuild of FM24, smash the like button. Make this the most liked video you've ever seen for it being the last of FM24. And I can't wait to see you for FM26. I'll speak to you guys next time.